Good Samaritan Sunday, y'all. I'm talking about unconditional love. You know, a Samaritan is a person who helps people selflessly. Okay, they can be considered as a philanthropist and humanitarian. You know, the word Samaritan is a person who performs good deeds. It stems from the parable in Luke 10:25 through 37, the parable of the Good Samaritan. Now, I want to give you a little insight on the times. Now, Jews and Samaritans had bad blood with each other. Samaritans were people who were from Samaria in ancient times. They were considered unholy and outcast because they were considered half-breeds. They defiled the true religion. They were worse than the Gentiles as far as the Jews were concerned. They only accepted 5 books of the Bible that was written by Moses, and they rejected the laws and the writings of the prophets. So Jews didn't deal with Samaritans at all. It was prohibited for them to deal with each other, okay? But in this parable, there was a Jewish man who was traveling. He was robbed and left for dead. Long story short, a priest walked by him and he ignored him. A Levite walked by him and he ignored him. But then this Samaritan man saw this Jewish man and he decided to stop and actually help him. He bandaged up his wounds. He gave him transportation, and then he put him up in a hotel and paid for his care. Okay, so he defied tradition, the law, prejudices, racism that existed between Jews and Samaritans. See, in today's scripture is Luke 10:27. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. With the key emphasis, love your neighbor as yourself. See, and I believe that Jesus was trying to show us in this parable that as born-again believers, we are called to love one another no matter what. We are to love each other, okay? And in this parable, the Samaritan man didn't care about the law and this man being Jewish. He just saw a person in need. He didn't see race. He didn't see religion or stature. He just saw a person needing assistance, and he was passing by, and he said, I'm going to stop and help him. Okay? And that's what we are so called to do in this scripture. Love your neighbor as yourself. And that's what God does for us. He looks beyond our faults and supplies our needs. He loves us unconditionally as born-again believers. See, and I believe Jesus wants us to do the same. He wants us to overcome our prejudices and racism. Love doesn't see race. And see, true love in action, it doesn't care. It'll defy the law, social barriers, all of that. As a born-again believer, you have to ask yourself, are you a good Samaritan? Would you stop and help somebody